Alright, so I might as well start recording because when aren't I recording something? So my final thoughts on A Realm Reborn. So the vanilla aspect of Final Fantasy XIV. So for what it is definitely laying down the groundwork of an MMO. But really right there during those last 2 hours... Ooh. Ooh, that's beautiful. During those last 2 hours, though, you really feel the pace ramp up from the beginning. Absolutely. Absolutely. The story had you crying. Now for the other four expansions. Exactly. And again, the game is free up to level 70, so you do get to experience ARR, Heaven's Ward, and Stormbringers. So, what I really like about it is it does give you the humble beginnings of an MMO. And right now, as I'm watching one of our friends play through the beginning again, I still remember when I first hopped off that cart and ended up in Gridania. And still remembering my first days of the adventure and just going here and there, learning about my place. Aww. Music is beautiful. Oh no. That's too good. That's beautiful. Okay. So, for what it is, as an MMO, it lays into the standards in terms of the UI elements and the gameplay. For what it is as a Final Fantasy game, oh man, you get what you get out of it. You get random side quests, you get really cool looking Magitech, you get some big ass swords, you get some really nice equipment. You look at this right behind me to kind of really look into the aspect of it. You get some crazy magic. It's what you'd expect out of a JRPG. Especially like right at the end with the cinematic sequences. Like, to point of reference, Final Fantasy VII was my first and only Final Fantasy game I ever, well, beat, quotation mark. I watched my dad beat it, but like, I still remember all those cutscenes vividly, and like, I grew up watching Advent Children. Final Fantasy VII Dirge of Cerberus was actually the first Final Fantasy game I beat myself. But anyways, point in hand is, it's got everything you want out of a Final Fantasy game. You got some great cutscenes, you got some great moments, you got... The voice acting, it was what it was for the beginning. And again, this was 10 years ago when Final Fantasy A Realm Reborn came out. Or, well, 2014. Or, no, 2010? Anyways, it was over a decade ago. So, this is a decade-old story. You have a chance to play this yourself. And if that doesn't count for a free trial, I don't know what does. Like, if that doesn't urge you to go play it, well, I'd say definitely give it a shot. Because for those who are looking to get into a game to kill time, MMOs are a great way to do that. Like, MMOs are a fantastic hobby to get into. And I can attest out of many of the game hobbies that I do have, like, I'm glad that I added Final Fantasy XIV into my repertoire of games that I thoroughly enjoy. And you'll find and you'll build a community that you can work with. Whether it's going to be your own free company, a group of friends that you hang out with, or your streamer buddies, even. But FF14, I feel, is definitely going to be the WoW of this generation because of just what it offers and how much it offers. And, like, it goes deeper and above and beyond from what many other games can and do offer. I'm looking forward to going through Heaven's Ward as well as Stormbringers, and those are going to be things I will do another day, for sure. But yeah, graphically speaking, it's, you know, it's nothing to sneeze at. Like, the CG cutscenes, of course, are fantastic, and, like, you got those moments, and, like, of course they're going to go all out cinematic, and especially with games like Final Fantasy XVI that are coming out, or that has come out, you know, you can see the evolution of where all these different elements come from the other games. From my time in playing Final Fantasy XII, I understand where a lot of those mechanics from that game transferred into here, and a lot of, like, how the job systems in that game work to here. And you have everything that you expect out of a Final Fantasy game. You have, again, like I said, you have people who have the big swords, you have the archer class, you have the mage classes, between black mage, white mage, red mage, and apparently there's a blue mage here. You got your spear character, You know, it doesn't follow the traditional game though of having turn-based strategy or like specific characters are weak to specific types. Like back then, I could say like I can't take down an aerial unit unless I had like a shooter unit kind of thing, right? You are all these different units, and that's where it falls into the MMO mechanics. I don't know, calling it WoW this generation feels kind of reductive. It really sets itself apart by the feel of the community. The story focus and just the respect of the old content. Respect for the old content. Absolutely. Absolutely true. True. What I mean by it's the WoW of this generation is like, it is like an MMO that can definitely set itself on the laurels of Legends kind of thing, you know? It doesn't need to have those celebrity cameos to do it. Us memeing it alone and copy-pasteing it all over the internet is what gives it its merit. And, like, nothing spreads faster like wildfire than word of mouth. And that is the most word of mouth way to do it. And the fact that it has gotten upon the ears of over millions of players worldwide, that has done its job. Like, I'd say this game falls upon legends like Club Penguin, you know? Things of that nature. And, like, there's a little something for everyone in this game. Whether you just want to be a crafter, whether you just want to be a gatherer, you know, or if you just want to be a fisherman, if you just want to play in Gold Saucer, all of that is available to you. You don't have to be the world saver. And that's perfectly fine. I know people who have invested hundreds of hours into this game doing nothing but crafting, fishing, gathering. And that's perfectly fine. And I'd say, like, for those who do invest their time into this game, who have done it that way, have gotten their money's worth out of it. So, absolutely. So, yeah. And again, like I said, the beginning of ARR falls under a lot of world development syndrome, where it's just like, we're trying to get you introduced, get you to know all these characters, know these different areas, and then we slowly get the ball rolling to what's at stake. Like, when I started streaming this on YouTube, like, that's when I really started getting into the meaty half of the game, where it's just like, alright, this is where we're actually starting. Like, this is really where it's starting, kind of thing. After I had already done things like level up my bard, gone through the bard side quests, all of that one. Well, secondary quests, kind of thing. All of those features and mechanics. And that's really what it's taken to get to here. Now, other notes of the game that I will merit 100%. Nobuo does a fantastic job with the music. Like, that score, like, everyone who was hanging out in the comment section saw what I was commenting, is like, again, I'm gonna compare everything to 7, because 7 was, like, my game. 7 was, like, what I was born into. But 7, 10, and 12, from what I've experienced of those Final Fantasy games, and a little bit of 16, it falls into the orchestral amazingness that is what makes Final Fantasy unique and sets itself apart, is the dynamic music range and just how it evolves, and it really builds and ups in scales of the scene that you're playing through, and how the music, and it really accentuates how music affects the scene of music affects the scene. Whether it's just like going from like the beginning of the fight, and then like you're slowly turning up the heat, and it's like, alright, cool, round 2, round 3, let's go, you know, and you're fighting that final boss. It really felt like the final boss battle right there, as we got through each phase of it. And right here, this crescendo as we speak. If you can see my hand just close into a perfect fist, like right there. And there's that classic Final Fantasy trill. Yeah, there's a lot of love put into this game, and there's even more love put into it as it goes, as a series. Because, like, you could see how much this game has snowballed from its predecessors, and it takes a lot of what makes Final Fantasy, and what makes it familiar to the Final Fantasy franchise, right? You got things like the Chocobos, the Moogles, the Tonberries, the Fireballs, the Bombs, you know, again, the Magitech, the big swords. It's all here that does make, like, these are the things that make Final Fantasy, more than anything else. And it takes it to heart, and it takes it in its stride. I'm looking forward to see what the rest of the DLCs are going to be like, and just where the stories go from there. So yes. But I hope that suffices as a review for Final Fantasy XIV, A Realm Reborn specifically. Like, this is my live review, like, on the spot of the game. So yes, if you do get a chance to play this, go for it. If you got some friends who are urging you to play it, join them. Like, definitely take the chance to run it with them and just go out and adventure in Eorzea. Go out and play in the Gold Saucer. Go out and just run some dungeons with friends, you know? Of course, like, certain features and aspects aren't going to be available if you're on the free trial. Again, having friends, you need to be able to add them. You need to be able to not be on a free trial. So that's the other issue there. So that is one of the things. The game is a subscription-based service, and it's only $15 a month. So that is going to be the big aspect of it. A lot of games these days come out at $60 and are coming out incomplete. I'm not going to name names as to what is what, but for what it is, as a going from free to play MMO, this is as polished as possible. And then it gets even more polished and it shines all the way through. So with that, for the recorded side, that is going to be my thoughts and review of Final Fantasy XIV, A Realm Reborn. To see more of the adventures that we're going to have, make sure to join us, subscribe to our channel here at Shadow Wolf Gaming on the YouTube side. Make sure to follow us over on Twitch to catch us, join us on the grind, where you're more than welcome to come and join us on stream, hang out, come chat with us, talk about the game, come grind levels with us, come level up your character. Go on, who knows, maybe we can even like set up like a whole like 16-person fishing trip. I know one thing I want to do in this is a huge VTuber Chocobo racing competition. I want to do that at one point. Brad, I told you about that. Like, I told you like 2 years ago, I want to do a VTuber Chocobo racing competition. You, me, Tachi, and whoever else can come along. So yes. Like, that's something I really want to pull off. So yes. So for the recorded side, yeah, thank you for watching that. And if you get a chance, watch the VODs. And everyone who watches the VODs, thank you so much. And everyone who's tuned in live on the stream, thank you so much. I really appreciate you all. Like, I'm glad you're all here to join the journey, and thank you for dealing with how I shittily archive this adventure. Anyways, my recording's done, and I keep